Hello and welcome to French Reacts, a video where I, French, react to non-French speakers trying to sound French. Should be fun. Let's get right into it. Our first clip is from Talladega Nights, where Sacha Baron Cohen plays a Formula One driver. Here we go.
Turn that off! Turn that off right now!
Why did you stop the jazz music?
Now it's interesting because jazz music was actually created in the US. It's funny that the Americans are so against this music when it was literally created in their country. Moving on.
Was it not pleasant for you?
That's pretty good. Now, here's the thing. I know this is supposed to be a comedy, so everything is kind of exaggerated, but you can make an exaggerated accent and still be accurate. So let's listen.
My name is Jean Girard.
Okay, that's the first faux pas. He says Jean. I don't know why people think that French people do this sound a lot. Maybe we do, but it's Jean. It's not Jean, it's Jean. It's a little bit more bright. You know, it's not so dark. Jean. What's his full name?
Jean Girard.
Girard is pretty good. The R is nice. It's Jean Girard. It's not so bad.
And I am a racing car driver just like you.
Now here's an interesting thing. With a French person with this strong of a general accent, he would 100% be making the R sound like I make it. He does it very American. He does He does a lot of French people with a strong accent struggle with this and generally make the R sound. So that's one thing that I would have changed.
Except I am from Formula 1.
You see here, he should say Formula 1, and he does the same thing as Jean. He says instead of un. But it's interesting because some French people have an accent where they will say like my father, for example, God rest his soul. No, he's still alive. I don't know why he said that. But he says instead of un. It's just, you know, some people speak like that, but it would have been more accurate if he had said Formula 1.
I am the greatest one in the whole world.
Greatest, you know? Yeah, greatest. He would have been the greatest accent guy. Yeah.
With great interest, Monsieur Bubby.
He gives it away when he says French words because he says them incorrectly, and a French person would never say a French word incorrectly. So here, for example, he said Monsieur with a R, and it is spelled with an R, but he should know as a French person that it's pronounced Monsieur and not Monsieur. So another rookie mistake.
I think what you are hearing is my accent.
So it's interesting because most of the time he said the TH sound, he made the Z sound, but this time he went for the think. A French person, when they try to do the TH sound, they don't do S like an American or an English person, they go S. I think. And he went, I think.
You say you're French?
Oui.
Another giveaway. Oui. He goes, oui. Which, again, is funny, but incorrect.
No, we are not French.
That's funny.
Well, what have you given the world?
You see, that time he said the, so that was more accurate.
Chinese food. That's from China.
Pizza?
Italy.
You see, these countries, he should say them in a French accent, like Italy, not Italy.
Chimichanga. Mexican.
Mexico. Mexico, not Mexico.
We invented democracy and the blowjob.
I actually also invented the 69, but anyways.
That's what's on neuf. You know the 69 with the head near that bit? Ricky Bobby.
That was pretty good. The R, Ricky Bobby.
I have come here to defeat you.
Another thing he does very well is he omits the H sound, which we French people have a lot of difficulty with, and for some reason we put it on words where there's no H, but we don't put it on words where there is an H. So here, for example, he said here, which is how a lot of French people would say it.
I will let you go, Ricky. But first, I want you to say...
I love crepes.
Amazing pronunciation of the word crepes. Nothing to say. That was flawless. Good job, Sacha.
Bon, so what if you just said, I love really thin pancakes? That is a fair compromise, no?
Okay, so that bon at the beginning of the sentence, I don't know if it was written like that or if he added it in, but that is an amazing way to sound more French. If you want to sound more French, add bon, bas, at the beginning of any sentence, you'll sound more French. So that's great choice. We're going to end it on that note. Honestly, great performance. I know this is supposed to be an over-the-top comedy, so it really matches the style, and he does a lot of great things. A couple of inconsistencies, and when he says French words, it's sometimes not very good, but I'll give him a pass. Honestly, I give this a 7 out of 10. Alright, hear me out. Yes, I am judging these accents, but only because these actors are playing characters who are supposed to be French. And at the end of the day, it is the actor's job to convince us that they are who they are playing. And here, most of the time, they are convincing us that they are not really French. But of course, I truly believe that accents are a beautiful thing. I mean, I have an accent for crying out loud. I mean, an accent is just proof that you speak another language, which is just objectively cool. And if you are trying to learn a new language, then today's sponsor might be able to help. With Reverso, you have your own little language companion in your pocket with you. Whether you need translations, definitions, sentence examples, or pronunciation help, Reverso has you covered. You see, these guys probably didn't have Reverso on set, which is crazy because it literally costs nothing. So you can even create your own personalized vocabulary list or choose from over 150 ready-made lists that cover everything from food and travel to business and exam preparation. One of the moments I find Reverso most useful is when I'm searching for just the right word. You know, when you have an idea in your head but you can't quite find the expression, or when you're translating something literally and thinking there's no way people actually say that. Reverso can help you find more natural ways to say things. It can also help you discover less common vocabulary and see how native speakers actually use words and expressions in context. It's basically like having a little language coach in your pocket for whenever you forget every word you've ever learned, which happens to me quite a lot. So whether you're ordering a croissant in Paris, preparing for a language exam, trying to sound like a Hollywood Frenchman, or just trying to figure out how to say something the way a normal human being would say it, then Reverso is here to help. If you'd like to check it out, you'll find all the information and links in the description below. And now back to the video. This next one is quite infamous. Sometimes brings my blood to a boil, because it is literally a character that we call Frenchie, and he is the least French sounding character I have ever heard. This actor, who's not French at all, he's actually from Israel, struggles. He struggles a lot, whether it's the accent, whether it's actually French. So let's check it out and you'll see for yourself.
Never she's giving anything away. What is this?
From the get-go, if we had asked me where this guy is from, I don't think I could even tell you a country, because I literally do not know what that is. Again, this is also over the top, but it's a little more grounded in terms of characters than Talladega Nights, which is a Fallout comedy. I would expect them to be a little more accurate in the accent in this than in Talladega Nights, and so far, not the case.
Now she's giving us the plane, those shiny passports.
Passports. Passports is actually the same in French. We say passeport. You know, what would be interesting when you're playing a character who is French is when you have words that are the same, like hotel, like passport. You say those words in French because people will understand what you're saying and you'll sound super French. So that could have been interesting to do. I don't know.
You think you promised her, chérie?
No idea what he just said.
Merde.
So that was a French word, merde, which means shit. He said merde. Honestly, not terrible. I think it's because he's whispering it, but it sounded like merde. You know, he hid that well.
Entouragisme for the stupid in the den.
Again, no idea what he just said. I don't know if it's because my English is bad, but most of the time, no idea what this man is saying.
You want to wait 3 hours for a 3 minutes ride?
So he just said 3. He said 3, like an American would say it. And the thing is, that's fine. Of course, a French person could say 3, but he has such a sick accent. Whatever accent it is, I don't know, it's not French. But with an accent so sick, you would think he would say it any other way than 3.
Okay, first work, then pleasure.
Here's what surprises me, is that he has gone on interviews saying that French people will actually think he's French. French people have come up to him and said, I thought you were French. Either he's a big fat liar, or those people are liars, or they're just not French. Except for the merde, which was whispered, there's nothing that he has said so far that made me think he was French, at all.
Since when?
Since when? What?
Serge.
I feel like when he whispers, he taps into something French.
Omelette de fromage.
Because when he said Serge, again, that was quite good. The merde and the Serge sounded French to me. So I'll give him that.
What do you want?
We wanna know about Soldier Boy.
We want to know about Soldier Boy. That sounds nothing like me. I don't even know how to react to this because it's so far and I can't even tell you what it's trying to resemble. I don't know what his reference was.
Wouldn't that be nice?
The TH sound sounded too good. French person wouldn't say it that way with that sick of an accent of whatever place he's from.
We go to Marseille.
It's uncanny. There's something you can tell he's not French, but honestly, it's not so bad.
Okay.
Okay, so this is one of my biggest issues. He says this a lot. This is how he talks to Kimiko. He calls her mon cœur, which means my heart. And he says this a lot. Mon cœur, mon cœur, mon cœur. Only he never says it right. He says it like a million times in the entire show, and never once does he say it right. It's supposed to sound like mon cœur, and he says
Okay.
mon cœur, which actually sounds like my ass in French, mon cul. It sounds closer to mon cul than mon cœur. So his accent is making him sound like he's calling his girlfriend my ass.
Six Flags in Queensbury. We go tomorrow. We ride Grease Lightning and a Scheming Demon until we vomit the donut hamburgers, huh?
You see, that's what bothers me, is that there's so many things that I would forgive, like the sorry, the TH sounds, the R sounds that he says perfectly, but then he says words like hamburgers, like he doesn't speak English, like he doesn't have the capacity to, but he constantly says words with a good accent. So that's where I don't follow. And even when he speaks French, it doesn't sound like French. So I'm sorry, I'm going to give this a 0 out of 10. If I could give a negative review, I'm not saying he doesn't act well. The actor is fine. It's just, it doesn't sound French. And his character name is literally Frenchy. He's the second biggest French character in the world after me. For this next clip, we are going to look at a very talented actor who is known for doing accents very well, Robert Pattinson. And in this one, he plays a French king. It's a clip from the film The King with Timothée Chalamet, who actually speaks French. This should be interesting. Let's take a look.
Je vous remercie de me recevoir.
Yeah, that's flawless, honestly. I know he struggles sometimes in interviews, but it's normal, it's not his first language, but when he has a script and he has to say something in French, honestly, it's perfect. He's very good.
Votre Majesté.
Votre Majesté? Is that what he just said?
Votre Majesté.
So that's wrong. I don't know if maybe they looked into it and they saw that back then they said Majesté, but it's Votre Majesté. Maybe the printer doesn't do accents aigus in their scripts. He should have said Votre Majesté, because that's how we say it. We don't say Votre Majesté. That's wrong.
Please speak English. I enjoy to speak English.
I enjoy to speak English. Okay.
It is simple and ugly.
Okay, so that's an interesting choice, the simple. Because in English, we would say simple. You guys didn't see that coming, huh? I can do a very good English accent as well. But French people, we say simple. And he does kind of an in-between. So I understand why he tried to do that, but he's not quite there yet.
I have been waiting all the morning.
He omits the H. As I said earlier, French people tend to not pronounce an H. Instead of saying I have been, he goes I have, which is good. But then he loses it a little bit with the all morning. Instead of saying all morning, all morning,
All the night.
all night, night, all night. And he puts like a weird vowel after all. I don't know why.
For your surrender.
His R's are quite good. Surrender, it's not bad.
Might have said great unease.
And then he loses it. That's the thing, is that he's not always super consistent, which is normal, but he says he doesn't make the same R sound for great, which would have made him sound very French.
You came here.
You see there, he could have also omitted the H, it would have made him sound very French, but contrary to the beginning, this time he kind of, you hear it very well. Here, he goes. Could have sounded very French if he had said, you came here, but maybe too French, I don't know.
This little village of Agincourt.
And there it is. There's the big slip up. This is where we can guarantee he is not French, because it is pronounced Agincourt. And I don't think there's a single syllable, maybe the A in the beginning, that is correct. And I'm confused as to how in such a big production there is in one single French person, because it's not like he's trying to say Agincourt and he's saying it incorrectly. He's clearly not trying to say that. We know it's in France, and nobody in France says it that way. I don't even think English people would pronounce it that way.
This little Agincourt.
Agincourt. Maybe he needed a French person on site to help him out. You know, maybe they didn't have the resources for this. They were spending too much money on the costumes and on Timothée Chalamet. But yes, that is an unfortunate mistake, and because of it, I'm going to have to give this one a 5 out of 10. There's a lot of things that he does right and a lot of decisions that do make him sound French, but unfortunately there's a lot of slip-ups that he has to be below the average. So actually I'm going to change it to 4.5 out of 10. It is a valiant effort, Mr. Pattinson. This next one is from another renowned actor who actually speaks French quite fluently. In this film, which is a comedy, a over-the-top comedy once again, he makes some interesting choices, some of which are correct and some of which sound funny, but sometimes are quite off. Let's check it out.
As always, Mr. English, but I'm afraid we must move on.
It's technically correct, but maybe it's because it's over-exaggerated in like a weird way. It sounds a bit off, but it's funny. But he puts everything like in the back of his throat. Like this, Mr. English. Makes him sound like a funny Frenchman, but it's a little bit exaggerated.
I'm afraid we must move on.
I'm afraid we must move on. Is that Chef Kiss?
All this stupid little country have to do is stand in line and do what it's told for one miserable day. But can it do that? My fragrant French ass it can!
Very flowery language. So I watched this movie when I was quite young, and I remember being a little bit thrown off by his accent, but at the same time, it's really quite good. He hits all those TH sounds as the, all the R sounds are there. He does a good job. Not only does he sound French in his accent, he sounds French in the way he speaks.
Let's go! Shut up!
Shut up, shut up. The vowel there is not super French, but anyways.
And do what it's told!
I think the only word there that kind of threw me off was told. I would have said it told, and I think it would have sounded more French.
C'est le mien!
Again, I think that was French. I think he's trying to say c'est le mien. When they speak French, that's kind of when I can tell really that they are on French. Instead of saying c'est le mien, he says c'est le mien. I actually think he pronounces the N in mien because it is spelled with an N, but as you know, French has a lot of silent letters. That is a dead giveaway that he is not actually French.
Allez, vite!
No idea what he just said. If you guys know what he just said, please leave a comment and let me know.
King!
Amazing film. So overall, I would say this is a very good performance, especially for a comedy like this. I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. Honestly, there's not much to say other than, you know, the French and a couple of things that I think he could have done better. For this next performance, we will be looking at something a little different. It's an animated film called Ratatouille, which you may have heard of. This film is quite interesting to me because it takes place in France, in Paris, but all the characters speak English, which I understand, but they all speak English with a French accent, except for the main character. Even though they are supposed to be talking French and it's being translated. Why is it being translated with an accent? When they speak French, they don't have an accent. So when they speak English, they shouldn't have a French accent. Anyways, it's a bit confusing, but we accept it because it's Pixar and it's an amazing film. Let's get on with it.
Cutting the vegetables?
No, you waste energy and time. You think cooking is a cute job?
Okay, straight off the bat, you can tell it's a French accent, unlike Frenchie in The Boys. I think the idea was just to have people who sound French because we are in France, who speak the language well, as you will see with the character of Colette who speaks very, very fast. That being said, it's interesting what choices they make in this accent. Let's have a look.
You think cooking is a cute job, eh? Like mommy in the kitchen? Well, mommy never had to face the dinner rush when the orders come flooding in and every dish is different and none are simple and all of the different cooking time.
Wow, there was a little
Cute job, eh?
It's interesting because I would have said un. A French person, when they ask like a rhetorical question or when they want to emphasize something, they don't generally go eh? They go hein? If you want to sound French, another great tip, put in an un wherever you want. Hein? If she had said un, would have sounded so much more French.
But must arrive on the customer's table at exactly the same time, hot and perfect. Every second counts and you cannot be mommy.
You see, all her TH sounds, all her R sounds sound perfectly English, but everything else, like the vowels, sound very French. You know, for me, as a French person, the biggest giveaway that somebody is French are those two sounds, the R sound and the TH sounds that they are unable to say. She does not have this. I saw this when I was very, very young. I didn't for 1 second question her accent. So she's doing a very, very good job.
Ugh, your sleeves look like you threw up on them.
That I didn't believe. Threw up. She said threw up on them. I would have said threw up. I threw up, but unfortunately, yeah, that sounds very, very American. Very non-French.
Or bribe a grower. Bonjour. Voila.
They dropped a little bonjour in there, which definitely was either from somebody who is very good at accents or is a French person. That was the most French bonjour I've ever heard.
Got hired by circus people as an acrobat.
Interesting. There I feel like she dropped a little French air, acrobat, and that word sounded very French to me, so I think that's good.
He get fired for messing around with the ringmaster's daughter.
They omitted the S there, which is interesting to make her sound like she doesn't speak English that well, which again is confusing because she has such a good vocabulary and she speaks so fast, and then she makes a common mistake like get instead of gets. I don't know that that's a mistake that many French people make.
Horst has done time.
What for?
No one know for sure. He just
Again, that doesn't sound very French to me. It might have been also because the for sure.
For sure.
Sounded very American. I would have said it for sure. Not very, very accurate to me.
don't ever play cards with Pompidou.
Pompidou, she says that very, very well, and that's where I can tell that her vowels sound very French because Pompidou is full of vowels and she says it perfectly. Pompidou.
Larousse ran gun for the resistance.
Okay, I take it back. But again, it's because she never makes the R sound, la rousse, and she says it la rousse. Clearly, there's some work to be done there.
Gun for the resistance.
And also with resistance, it's a French word. It's weird to hear it resistance. It kind of sounds French, but there's something off.
So you see, we are artists.
Again, these are French words as well. We are artists. Artist is a French word. That would make her sound so French, and it would really be perfect.
What the cooks are we?
We?
We.
It's a cute little wordplay.
Thank you, by the way, for all the advice about cooking.
You're welcome. I don't think they're going to take my advice if they do Ratatouille too, but it's okay. This was honestly, it's very good. I've said it many times, but her vowels sound great. I think I missed the French sounding R and the French sounding Z, thank you. And so honestly, for the decisions that they made, this voice actress does a wonderful job. I'm going to give her a 7.5 out of 10 because she does a very, very good job at sounding French. I hope you guys enjoyed this react video. If you want me to do another one, let me know in the comment. Also, let me know if there's another character played by a non-French actor who you would like me to review. And I will see you guys bientôt. Au revoir!